All right, and we back on the forecast. Now, regardless of what the Las Vegas police might think, black people have been dealing with racial discrimination, racial profiling for a long, long, long time now. When you look at today with the school to prison pipeline, we know that the prisons have a disproportionate number of black men, especially in there, which half the prison population is in jail for drugs, even though they will tell you, well, they're disproportionately in jail because of violent crime. Well, violent crime is less than 10% of the prison population. We understand that the prison system make billions of dollars off of having inmates. Private prisons have stockholders and they got to keep the jail cells filled. We know that these prisons can lease convicts out to do work. And if our people want to boycott anything, we should start with the people who deal with and the people who invest in these prison stocks. We know that the 13th Amendment says slavery or involuntary servitude is prohibited except if you're convicted of a crime. Now, they didn't say anything about who gets to make the law, who gets to make what a crime, who gets to give out the punishment. They didn't say anything about that part. But we do know about Richard Nixon and his war on drugs, that his right hand man admitted to being targeted at black people. We know about Ronald Reagan and his doubling down on the war on drugs. We know about Hillary Clinton and her quadrupling down on these super predators with her war on drugs. We know all about Bill Clinton's crime bill. Then we saw Rudy Giuliani with his stop and frisk policy, which Trump now wants to probably make nationwide and just be stopping and frisking all of us. And we have Jeff Sessions with his updated war on drugs. But the irony is, this time, when it's Jeff Sessions' turn, the war on drugs is not in the black community. It's the opioid and heroin epidemic going on in the white communities. And even now, with Jeff Sessions getting so tough on drugs, they're not sending these white kids who have this problem to the penitentiary. They're sending them to the hospitals. They go into drug rehab. And even now, when they're experiencing the drug epidemic on any police department that you do an investigation on, you're probably going to find that they stop black people more, they search black people more, illegally violating their Fourth Amendment rights, mind you. They arrest them for drugs more often. They charge them more often. They convict them more often. And if they both get convicted, guess who does the most time? Who's going to get more time? A young white girl strung out on heroin and opioids, or an old black man who does crack? Who do you think is going to get more time? But of course, we fit the description. Which, when they say you fit the description or you look suspicious, that's very vague and gives the police a lot of discretion. But even still, looking suspicious or fitting the description is not a crime. But one thing we should start paying attention to, which is considered a crime, when they don't really have a reason for bothering you, and God forbid if you try to exercise your rights, most times they'll just say disorderly conduct, which again is a vague ass law, which leaves a lot of discretion up to the police officer. But now he can arrest you. Now let's look at what exactly disorderly conduct is. Disorderly conduct is a criminal charge in most jurisdictions in the United States and certain other countries. Typically, disorderly conduct makes it a crime to be drunk in public or to quote unquote disturb the peace or to loiter in certain areas. Many types of unruly conduct may fit the definition of disorderly conduct. As such, statutes are often used as catch all crimes. So, pretty much anything the police wants it to be. If you don't bow down and take orders from Massa, he can get you on a disorderly conduct. He can walk up and say, "Give me your ID," even though I live in a state where I don't have to have an ID unless I'm like driving or something. I don't have to have an ID. But if I don't, he can arrest me for disorderly conduct. We saw the police harassing a 91-year-old man, slamming him on the car, and they hit him with a disorderly conduct. So they just have a vague ass law where they can just arrest you for no reason, and from that point on, they can say, "Well, you were resisting arrest." We hear that all the time. You can have a damn dog biting your arm off. They be like, "Stop resisting, stop resisting." Which now in some states, resisting arrest is now a felony hate crime. The laws in America are literally set up to where you can be minding your business, being harassed by the cops, and that'll lead to you getting a felony hate crime. This is why we need to start policing ourselves and building our own protection from within to police ourselves and to police the police. And if we can't do that, at the very least, we have to start joining these police departments. Because believe me, there are these racist people who go out and intentionally join the police force. KKK members, Nazi members, they purposely go out and join the police force. They go out and run for local legislation in their area.
James L. Hart, Tennessee, believer in eugenics. In 2004, Hart won the Republican primary in Tennessee, vowing that if elected he would work toward keeping less favored races from reproducing or immigrating to the United States. In campaign literature, Hart contends that poverty genes threaten to turn the United States into one big Detroit.
They control the local politics in their areas. They run for a local representative. They run for mayor. They run for sheriff. They run for all these positions. We have to do that in our own areas. We have to have our own city representative, our own mayor. We have to have a police chief that won't carry out racist policies that affect us. We have to have our own DA to make sure that if something does happen, that they press charges. And we definitely need to protect the ones that we already have. Like Aramis Ayala, Florida's first black state attorney, who wants to get rid of the death penalty. Now they blackballing her. We have to have her back too. We need to have judges like Judge Olu Stevens, who will not let a black defendant have an all-white jury. We have to have our own mayor who will not let racist federal policies like stop and frisk policies come to our communities. We have to learn to protect ourselves. We have to educate ourselves and educate our children and teach them to become doctors and lawyers and teach them to start business and become business-minded and entrepreneurs, to start banks and to build grocery stores. And right now we can easily elect a board of successful business people to be in charge of creating and growing black businesses so that our children will have an easier time in the future to take the next step past whatever we get them to. And it's always best to learn your rights and your laws in your local communities. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you do, what you call yourself. Your status is the same until you have a nation that'll back you up, until you have an army that'll back you up. We'll still be having this conversation 50 years from now.
The Monroe County DA is dropping charges against 3 players who say they were treated unfairly by RPD. They were arrested last week waiting for a school bus downtown. New at 11, Caroline Tucker was at the ball game tonight.
It was victory for the Edison Tech basketball team even before they took the court. Charges against 3 players, Daquan Kerlock, Wantaj Weathers, and Raleek Red, dropped.
I was just a lot of stress relieved off me. When you see African Americans all piled up together, you just think they're up to no good because what the Rochester's reputation is. So you can understand why the cop acted, but you can't just judge somebody by what they got wrong.
I was mad happy. It was too much to think about. We got this whole season coming up. Then we got to think about what happened downtown.
Last Wednesday, the three basketball players waited on East Main Street for a bus to their scrimmage. Police arrested them in front of their coach for obstructing traffic and not following police orders. Their coach and even school board members stood by their side.
They've gone through a lot. I mean, getting handcuffed, put in the back of a police car, that's traumatic.
Coach Jacob Scott prayed for the charges to be dropped. DA Sandra Dorley said it was in the interest of justice. The players' mothers are ecstatic.
It's sad that it takes something like this for the community to realize what's really going on out here with the youth. And I think it opened the eyes to the officers that all kids aren't bad. Before you judge a kid or pass judgment on one, all it takes is for you to communicate.
We were excited that everybody supported us, and I was actually relieved because I didn't want this to tarnish my son's career in basketball. This is his life. This is what he lives for.
Coach Scott says a conversation is needed about why this would even happen.
Not all youth are doing the wrong things, and we need to really take mind of that.
Even though these charges have been dropped, Red's mother has retained an attorney for a possible civil lawsuit against the city of Rochester. These players are now just focused on making baskets and a statement.
We got something to prove.
What do you have to prove, you think?
That we good kids and that we could hoop.
Why are they doing that to him? My ID right there on the side of the truck. Come get your ID. Let's go get it. Let's go get your ID. I'm delivering my post. He just hopped out of the UPS truck. Who do you think he is? Hold on, my wife. Sure, no. Now I don't want to go see your wife. She, this is bullshit I be talking about. What's your ID? Man, they like gonna hold me up and he... Nah. On the job? Yo, chill out. Wow. I hope I'm not really. You know you're wrong. See, I know y'all dead wrong. Lawsuit. You on camera? Lawsuit. You on crime. A UPS driver. Not even a US driver. What warrant? Yo, don't play like that. I went for that shit. Look at me. Right? Free my package, nigga. Yo. Oh, nah. He out of line. Bitch ass niggas. There's some bitch ass niggas. A badge on a gun. Bitch ass niggas. Yo, you can't do that. You can't do that in public. You can't do that in public.
Right now, you're under arrest for stolen conduct. Okay?
I'm under arrest for disorderly conduct, man. I ain't did nothing wrong.
I told you many times to lower your voice. All right? Continue to holler. And then when I asked you to come in, you ran from it. Okay?
I ain't run from you, man. I was just going somewhere. Man, these people down here calling these people, man. I ain't call y'all, man. I can't believe this here, man. I can't even walk through the path and go to my girlfriend's house.
Johnny, all you had to do was stop and let me just make sure everything was good.
Hey, man, this not none of my business, man. Hey, man, will you please quit with the light?
Knives and weapons on
Hey, man. Hey.
You got anything in your pocket that's gonna stick me, dude?
Hey, can I take my jacket to my sister's house right across the street?
Not right now, you can't.
What business you got going through my pockets anyway, dog?
You're under arrest.
For what? I ain't done anything.
All you had to do was lower your voice when I asked you to, okay? Instead, you continue
can't believe it. So just playing a friendly game of spades.
Miss, may I see your ID?
No.
Is there any reason why you're reporting me?
Yeah, because I see you performing a stop, and I'm trying to get your license plate and your name, Medina 5939.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing. Well, you can't see my ID.
Miss, I'm speaking to you now. I don't speak.
Excuse me.
Hey,
get off of my bag.
I will like
get
to
off of my bag.
ID.
Listen. You don't have the right to see my ID. I have not done anything wrong. I have every right to record you. Okay. Don't ask for my ID.
I'm trying to identify you now.
My name is Christina. My face is on the 30th precinct wall. You know who I am.
Stay right here. Don't move.
I haven't done anything wrong.
Miss.
Don't put your hands on me again.
I want to see your ID now.
You don't have a right to see my ID. I have not done anything wrong.
You are filming me?
I don't care. I have every right to film the police.
You're filming me?
I have every right to film the police.
Vehicle? You film me inside?
It doesn't look like a police vehicle. It looks like a regular car.
Okay, it's an unmarked police vehicle.
I know what it is, and I have every right to film the police.
Inside the vehicle, which is a problem.
I have every right to film the police. I've filmed inside of many police vehicles. Don't tell me about my rights. I know what my rights are. You just put your hands on me, and you don't have the right to. Yes, you did. You grabbed my bag. You grabbed my bag.
I'm talking to you.
You don't have a right to ask me for my ID. I'm stepping on the sidewalk. I'm on my way to go cook food for my grandfather.
I got my boss over here. I'm going to arrest you, and I'm going to...
Arrest me for what?
All right, just stay right here.
Arrest me for what?
Just stay right here.
I don't want to stay right here, and you cannot detain me. I have not committed a crime.
All right. Listen, ma'am, don't make me cuff you here.
Cuff me for what? I'm being detained illegally. I want to leave. I haven't committed a crime. This officer, Medina 5939, put his hands on me. What am I being arrested for? What am I being detained for? Hello? Medina 5939, what am I being held here for? I want to leave. If I'm not being arrested, I want to leave.
Ma'am,
get off of me. Don't touch me.
Stand right here.
I don't want to stand right here. I want to go about my business. I filmed you. I have every right to do it, and you can't hold me here. I already told him. My face is hanging in your precinct. You know who I am.
Lower your voice.
My name is Christina Gonzalez. I live on 153rd Street, and you know that because Sergeant Nicholson put my face on the poster, and you don't want the whole neighborhood to know what's going on right now. Don't tell me to lower my voice. I can say whatever I want.
Okay. Let me see your identification.
I already told you who I am, and I don't even have to tell you that. Let me see your identification. My father's waiting for me, and when I don't show up, there's going to be a problem. I didn't do anything wrong, and if you're not going to arrest me, I'm going to keep moving.
You, and I want, listen.
Stop fucking grabbing me!
Come here. Yo, grab her.
Can somebody film this, please?
Yeah.
What am I being arrested for?
Disorderly conduct.
What did he even do? Hey, ask what you're being detained for. What? No, I'm not getting any closer, dude. I'm sorry, I can't do that. What is he being detained for? This is the nation you live in, people.
Are you under arrest? Are you being detained?
Are you being detained? Have they told you you're being detained? Okay, well then you gotta wait there, but they have the right to tell you what you're being detained for.
I don't think he did anything. What did you do?
Because I don't look like a student.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't look like a student.
What are you doing?
I'm filming this.
Filming it for what?
This is the state
Because it's my constitutional right to film this.
The cops have the right to tell you they can take whatever you want. Whatever they
I'm not trying to be a butthole. I'm just saying it's my constitutional right to film the police.
I am trying to be a butthole about it because this is a butthole move.
What? Well, no, I say it's a bullshit move, but you know.
It's an unconstitutional move at that.
No, but this is what I understand. When you said the homeless dude over there, he was over here at first. They had him over there. There was about 8 of them. It took about 8 of them on this homeless dude over here.
Wait, do I have to take my hat off?
You have to take your hat off? What for? What for?
I'll tell y'all something right now. You can get locked up for disorderly conduct and obstruction.
Disorderly conduct.
Let these officers do their job.
They're not doing their job, sir.
Let them do their job. You're going to get locked up for obstruction and disorderly
Yo,
conduct.
back up. It's not worth it, dude. It's not worth it. No. I'm going to protect him. It's not worth it. We're backing off. We're backing off.
You're a student, sir.
Who's going to be? I'm backing off. I'm backing off.
Come here.
Well, dog, I can't. It ain't worth it. What the fuck? Are you serious?
Watch your language.
I have a First Amendment.
School setting. Watch your language. You're going a little bit too far. This is a big kid school, not a little one.
He has the right to say whatever he wants.
I'm using big kid language.
Grow up.
He did not insult you.
I need your name and serial number. I need your name and badge number.
Serial number?
Badge number. Excuse me for not getting the term correct. I need your badge number. I need your badge number.